Good day, folks. This is Greg Judy at Green Pastures Farm. Today I wanted to talk a little bit about low-cost operations. And, you know, we talk about eliminating costs or getting rid of extra costs. One of the quickest ways to do that is getting an animal that fits your environment. If you bring an animal in that's either, you know, too big or is too small or whatever, and it doesn't fit your environment, you're going to have a lot of cost in that animal, keeping it going well, getting it to breed back. You know, it's just not suited to your environment. So we're looking at low cost, and the way we do that is we stay focused on the grass. It doesn't mean anything when you talk about high weaning weights. Matter of fact, that's a term you need to get accustomed to in the cattle business. When people start talking about they have a high weaning weight, what they're telling you is they have big animals, okay? That's called a high maintenance animal. Maybe an animal that's giving too much milk. We don't want to produce a lot of milk on grass. The hardest thing to produce on grass is milk. We want an animal, a beef cow, that'll give just enough milk like this little calf's getting right here. By the way, that's the first calf effort. And she probably weighs, I don't know, 750 pounds. She's got a nice little 300-pound fat calf on her. Let's move forward, honey. Show your calf. There you go. I mean, look at that calf. He's just fat. Or she. Look at that. That's just a fat calf. Got milk all over its face. But look at that heifer. That's the first calf heifer. Does she look thin? Absolutely not. And that's because she's performing into the environment to which she was born. Period. Here's an older cow right beside her. This one's probably a 4-year-old. Look at the gut. Look at the gut capacity on that cow. Burn that into your mind. So when you start being able to eliminate cost, whether it's extra hay, of course we don't feed any grain. We don't give any shots except for blackleg. We do give a blackleg shot. And of course, no wormers, so we're eliminating a lot of these costs that everybody thinks you need. You know, we don't put up hay, we do buy our hay. And I feel like if you buy your hay, you put more value on that hay, where if you just put it up on your farm, it was extra, you don't put any money to that. When you buy hay, you put a dollar figure to it, because you had to buy it. So when you buy hay, it makes you become a better grazer, because you're focusing on your grass. Folks, this grass is worth a lot of money. That's how we are able to build all these ponds. There's one that we just built. It's not filled up yet. But by eliminating costs as far as stuff that we don't really need, we can put ponds out here on the landscape where we need them for our cattle. And that pond's going to be there the rest of our life. It's got a pipe in the bottom of it. We've got a pad at the back we're going to put in. And we don't have to purchase that water. If you've got water on your farm, that's a really good thing to have. If you got to go buy your water from the road out there, from the water district, that's not a real good thing, because they can shut you off. Just remember that. In a really bad extreme drought, if your whole farm is dependent on the water line, you're in a pretty weak place, because they can come in and just take the meter out. Because remember this, the people always get the water first, then the livestock or agriculture. But the people are going to get it. And when that water table starts dropping and you don't have any water, you may have some grass, but you don't have any water. This is talking about extreme droughts. So get you some ponds out there, catch it, and hold it on your property. It's yours. It's free. It fell out of the sun. Fell out of the sun. Fell out of the sky. I've never seen water fall out of the sun. But again, this is the kind of animals that we're trying to do. You know, we're almost in December. You look at what they're eating tonight. That is Kentucky 31 fescue, mainly. There's some orchard grasses in there. There's still some green clover in the canopy there, and some other things. But their primary grass is Kentucky 31. And everybody is freaking out about Kentucky 31. The cattle don't slick off. Look at this pair right here in front of us, 195. Look at that beautiful heifer calf. Folks, that's Kentucky 31 in clover. Look at that. Oh, you can't grow cattle with Kentucky 31. It's just terrible grass. No, it's not. It's the best grass we have in Missouri for winter grazing. And that's because you can abuse it. You can abuse this grass. You can stomp it. You can eat it pretty darn short. Not saying that you should, but you can if you have to, and the grass will come back. If you do that with a normal top grass, you'll kill it. These animals, again, low cost, smaller frame, big guts, fine bones. Look at the legs on your animals. When somebody starts bragging about high weaning weights, look at the bones. If you've got great big bones on the back legs of your animals, that's a high maintenance animal. You don't want big bones. You want the smaller frame, very fine bone. This little heifer right there eating in front of us, she's got a calf on her. That cow has got a calf on her. She only weighs 750. Look how fine boned she is. Fine, very fine little teats on her. That's just a fine boned animal. Finer the bone, the tenderer the meat. Okay. I think that's all I wanted to talk about on low cost. You know, you got to have animals that can feed themselves as many days of the year as possible. And somebody, and it was a great question on my YouTube today. They said, Greg, why don't you just put them on this paddock and leave them? Leave them there and eat it all down and then move them to the next paddock. Why are you moving them twice a day and leaving all this grass behind? Well, folks, animals like to be moved. And it's kind of wet out here right now. If you leave animals in the area too long, they're going to compact your soil. You're going to get a whole lot of manure on the ground. They're going to get a lot more manure on their feet. And now you're picking up parasites. Put them on a slightly bigger area when it's wet. Let them graze there, then move them. They're just like us. If you put all of us on a salad bar, and we went in and just took out the very best ingredients of that salad bar, then you left us there another day, you think we'd be happy? You think we're going to perform? Absolutely not. Animals are the same way. Just because they're a cow, they still need to be moved. Look at that. And that's just a beautiful animal. She's moved twice a day. She's never been wormed in her entire life. That's what it's about, folks. Give your animals a good, healthy life. You should feel good at the end of the day that you've done that. And with that, I wanted to end with that sunset. That's a typical winter Missouri sunset. Is that gorgeous or what? Can you zero in on that, Casey? Yeah. Kudos to Casey. He's a good photographer. Thank you, man. Y'all have a good evening.